right. Welcome to my kind of combo. It's all good. New 25, I suppose, at this point.
No, right, because I was all lost. I was like, what happened?
Yeah. So it's, no, you tell me what the hell's going on.
I don't know. Just say you want to be in the intro.
I just think so.
Like, I'm going to just have to do it the next time. That's it.
Apparently.
Because I'm feeling some type of way of seeing. This is just the life I live.
Apparently, Kim is having an existential crisis.
Existential crisis. Existential.
Apparently. I'm your host, Chris.
I'm Kim with the existential crisis.
And I'm Criss Cross.
So, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us and following us. We greatly appreciate.
I'm having a moment.
Alrighty then. So, thank you for tuning in and watching and being a part of our weird, loving, and nerdy family here. Again, thank you for following and listening to us, all new and old members. We really appreciate it. And I think we're just going to dive right in. Anybody want to be the first taker?
You know what? With my existential crisis, I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. So I'm bringing y'all back. Taking it back.
Okay.
To Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
With a very interesting... Am I the asshole?
All right.
I'm going to read y'all the title like we usually do, and we'll go from there. Here we go. All right. Am I the asshole?
No, she didn't.
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for excluding my obese friend from rock climbing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Immediately.
Oh no.
I thought y'all would enjoy this one. Here we go. There's this new rock climbing center that just opened up at the mall. My 17 female group of 8 friends were in town when I suggested we go try it out. However, when we got there, one of my friends was pulled aside and told to weigh herself. She's technically obese, and they told her that she couldn't participate since she weighed too much for the harness. Mm-hmm. She was extremely upset by this and started crying. She then asked the rest of us if we could do something else instead. However, everyone else really wanted to try the rock climbing, and we didn't want to miss out because of one person. I said we could hang out with her after we finished, but she just went straight home. The next day, she texted us saying that we were fake friends for abandoning her and making her feel excluded for her weight. She said I was selfish for even suggesting rock climbing without considering her weight because I'd assumed that she'd weighed enough for the equipment. I told her that it wasn't our fault that she wasn't allowed in, but she said the rest of us should have stood by her. Are we the assholes?
Yes.
Damn. I mean, Criss Cross, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl. I'm gonna let you take this one while I that's so good.
So the reason I say yes, you're the asshole, is because you don't go out with a group of friends, and the second that one has to be excluded, whether it's weight, disability, whatever, you just say, let's do it anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not fair, and you do look like an asshole because all of you guys are in this requirement. Mm-hmm. And I totally get not knowing that there was a requirement to begin with.
Right.
Which is totally understandable. So, like, that part, I don't think she's an asshole because most of the time you don't know if there's a requirement. You see so many different varieties and versions of people that do this shit all the time. Mm-hmm. So that part, no. But to say you're going to miss out, it ain't leaving tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It is not leaving tomorrow.
Right.
And you guys could have definitely came back.
Yeah.
You guys could have did something else.
Yeah.
Like, you're at the mall.
We're at the mall.
Exactly. And are you guys all 17? Because I was really trying to get that whole line.
Oh, you're trying to get like the age group.
Their age group is 17, so we are very young women.
Yeah, so you're stank now, so you're going to be stank when you get older.
Okay. Yeah, that one's...
Like, that's not the group I want to be around. I don't want my kid in that group either.
It's not a mature group.
Yeah.
No,
it's not a mature
this is
group.
a young child with her group of friends, and she is...
Yeah, and... You know,
you got that. I'm so sorry, lovely. You are the Duff, which is the designated fat friend.
Well, you forgot the ugly in there.
Well, no, I'm not gonna say she ugly because I don't know her, and she ain't ugly.
But that's what Duff stands for.
Okay.
That's what I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's what they are. I'm just saying that's what it stands for.
Okay, but she's a designated fat friend, and they have no care for her.
Yeah, that was like really, really selfish, and it's fucked up. And you know, you're a bully. Like, and I think highly of, like, not highly, but like I truly believe that, like, if you can't defend me or even stand up with me because of my weight now, you're never gonna do that for me in the future, and I'm always gonna be insecure around you because you guys decided to make a vote instead of just accommodating everybody.
Right.
Accommodating everybody.
And I understand what they're saying as children. Oh, we didn't know there was a weight limit.
Right.
But then we should have done something else.
Right.
And not let her feel excluded. And in those times of your age, and which we all know, you're very susceptible and you're very...
It's easy to break. You're easy to break.
Yeah.
Peer pressure is a heck of a thing, and she probably feels like the top of the world hanging out with these girls.
Yeah. I think with what you guys are saying, I don't want to say Duff because honestly, I don't know their friend dynamic, even though she was the one ousted. So I'm not, I hate the word Duff. Anyway, but when it comes to preparation, I think they're yes, they're young, but at the same time, in considering what you wanted to do in this place, there should have been a little bit more research. You guys do TikTok, you guys do Instagram, you guys do Facebook, you guys are in a social, you are Gen Z, right? They're in that Gen 17. Z alpha, whatever is coming up. You guys, where we were the generation that was now getting into technology, you guys were literally born into it. Right. Because we still had the boomer and generation where we learned to go outside and play. And then we were also still introduced to the new technology coming out, which is, Nintendo video games.
And this cancel culture.
Right.
Like, you should be canceled for that because, like, it's 2024. Like, we get it. Everybody's all different shapes and sizes. Like, you being skinny is not a fad.
Right.
And I don't think that enough people teach that or get that.
Right. So, like, what I'm, like saying is just that as a 17-year-old, where even you guys, we see things on TikTok all the time. And I'm like, damn, that looks fire. I want to check that out. And what do? If I do look into it, Kimberly looks into it, you look into it, we're checking to make sure, hey, am I even able to do this? Am I capable financially to do it? Am I capable physically to do it? Am I capable mentally to do it? If
my friends come with me, can we all do it? You know what I'm saying? Because we do have friends in our friend group who can't do certain things, and we always think about them first. Yeah. But I think it's also a big thing with the company as well. Yeah. Like, I know, like, roller coasters and things, there are height requirements and things like that. There's never really a weight issue like that. But if there was a weight issue at a mall, like,
this is rock climbing.
But to belittle her and to be, I would have not.
I don't think it was the company. That should have been her friends. Her friends are at fault. They pulled her aside to tell her that, hey, they're, just what is your weight?
No, they weighed her. The company weighed her.
Yeah, see, like, I would have been that friend to, like, yank her out the line. Let's go. We're gonna go do something else, and we're gonna eat.
Let's go get.
And I'm emailing that company because what do you mean? Like, she's a teenager, yes, and then what about larger adults or big girls, big boys because
Right,
hello,
we're bigger people.
right?
So
Like-
maybe they should have had like a separate room for that,
Yes.
you know, instead of being out in the open.
Or if it was, oh, we're looking at you, maybe you should go weigh. No, everyone should weigh. We're not going to oust one person because they look a bit bigger. What? And you're right. What if an adult came?
I don't
Adults
know.
are
We just
bigger
experienced
sizes.
this though. When we went with one of our friends and her kids, we went to American Dream Mall. Amazing mall. We went to the beach. And for one of the, no, yeah. It was the beach
It
or
was, we went to, it was the Nickelodeon. No, it was the water park.
And there is one ride where they required a weight to be weighted. And when I didn't want to go on this ride because I already knew what was going to happen, but, the daughter wanted to go and Kimberly was going to go with her on this ride. And there is a scale there where everyone who goes up has to be weighed to ensure.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some people that didn't have to be weighed because just by looking, they were like, it's fine. But other people or other groups had to be weighed to ensure the weight. And you needed to have heavier in the front, heavier in the back, especially if like smaller. And they had to be in the middle because I guess it's a very weighty front or back. So when Kim was going
I
up,
got so self-conscious.
yeah.
So self-conscious because I'm with two kids and one of the kids are a little bit, you know, a little husky. And, you know, and that can be such a big turn off for them. And I don't want them to feel like now me being the adult in that issue, I was like, I mouthed to Criss, like, I'm getting weighed.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, because
You're not in the same
I'm watching
area.
everything happen, and I'm like, okay, some people are going, and then I see some people getting weighed. I was like, all right, okay, and then I was like,
Because you have to be under a certain weight for that.
and then knowing
Right.
the little one, he's so adorable, he's a little big, and then the daughter, she's tall, but she's you know, she's curvy, and then Kim, and then I was just like, okay, and she's curvy, although
I am a curvy
and I
adult.
was just like, okay. And then she said, and she mouthed, and I was like, okay. And, you know, we're crossing all our toes, all our fingers, and
because they want to go so bad.
where the scale is, if you know where I was standing, there's the line loops around, and then they go on. It's out in the public. It's out for everyone to see. So it's not hidden. The thing about it is there should been or could have been a sign at the front that says, there is a weight limit, will be weighed upon entrance. But, you know, it wasn't until as you're proceeding and you're watching people go, then you're seeing that. And it's not a small scale. It's like one of those
massive ones. You know, when you go to the truck stops, scales.
Yeah, like
It
those
was
big
a massive-
industrial ones.
What I was happy about is they told all of us to stand at the same time, so
Yeah.
you didn't know
Who was what?
whose weight was
Right,
what.
right. Because there was a group of boys that came before, and they all had to be weighed on it. So that was
And then
like,
they stepped off one by one to see their weights.
Yeah.
But I didn't want them to feel it, and then I didn't want to feel like, oh my gosh, I am overweighing these kids.
Right. So I'm like, what you're saying with the weight situation, that's just a company thing that's going to be handled.
Yeah.
That is just something that company or whatever has to deal with more appropriately in a different way, unless somebody says something. No one says anything. No one's ever going to do anything. I can't hold the company accountable for something they've been doing for a minute. What I can hold accountable is her friends.
Yes, absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
And I agree.
That is where I was trying to go with it, because I get the shame or the anxiety of that. No one should have to weigh themselves in public if they don't want to, just because of a ride. That should be established at the beginning of the ride, or even before you walk into the line. There is a weight limit, will be weighed upon entry. Please be aware. You know what I'm saying? But that's a company thing. Now the friends, again, this is not, we live in an era of TikTok and Instagram and stuff. You could have easily just looked that up and seen what it entails for all of friends to participate in this activity. It doesn't take a lot. It's a click, 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 see what's going on. We have a friend who's disabled, no matter what we do, regardless of where we're going, if she's involved in coming out, we ensure it is accessible for her. We ensure she's capable of participating. We ensure that she can move around, or if she has to get out of her motorized chair, then what does that look like? What kind of supports does she need? We ensure no matter what, we call ahead.
Call ahead.
There's so many times that you do go online and it is not accessible. It doesn't say, so you have to call. And it's like, hey, I have a friend who's wheelchair bound.
Correct.
Are they capable of coming in? It's not the end of the world. It's not a payment. It's not going to cost you anything to make a phone call and do a click.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for her friends to, first off, not do their proper research, that's kind of like okay. But then getting there and then treating her and her getting treated that way.
And even when she asked, can we go do something else? And they're like, well, we want to do this.
Yeah. It's kind of
it's asshole mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is. Just so y'all know. Do not exclude your friends, because at the end of the day, these people may not stay with you for the rest of your lives.
Right.
It may be that one person,
right,
who really does stay with you.
Or there could have been a different way for them to have handled it, instead of just saying, well, this is what we all want to do. Like, they could have suggested some other things.
Right.
Like, look, I know we all had our hearts set on this. We'll do one round and then we'll just head out and do something else, if that's okay with you. I'm willing to do a compromise in that way or something.
Could have waited out.
Or exactly.
We've
done it where someone else wanted to participate or didn't, and they were like, they couldn't because of something, but they were like, no, it's fine. I was like, no, let's do something else. And they're like, no. So we had to make a compromise. We'll still do it once, but right after we're going to come right back and we'll do whatever you're able to do. I don't want you to be outed because you weren't able to participate. Because I hate how that feels. Oh, I absolutely hate how that feels. It's shameful.
And
it's
she probably went home and cried.
Of course.
And I know we've probably all been in a situation where that has happened.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it hit me so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you just go home, and she cried. And then the next day, so, she talked to her mom about it or talked to somebody else about it, and she felt horrible.
Yeah. Well, but their responses were not okay.
No.
Their responses were not okay.
And I will tell y'all right now, on Reddit, people said she was not an asshole.
Yeah. Oh, that she wasn't the girl?
Yes.
And they're all probably 20 pounds themselves.
Yeah. They said she was not an asshole, that they did the right thing, and they should have gone on the rock climbing.
Absolutely not. Reevaluate your life.
Yeah. I think they should have taken more consideration for the girl who couldn't participate, found an activity that they could have participated in. And not saying you couldn't do it, but I am saying that in light of that, you could have also found an alternative to also make her feel included. I give that girl a lot of props for then going back at her friends, because it's not easy to go back at your friends. Sometimes you just brush it off as the person, you brush it off just so that you can keep it going. But she went at them, and for them to kind of have that response in return, they will not know how it feels until they are in her shoes.
Absolutely.
So I give her kudos for that. I'm more about a compromise than just saying no.
Yeah.
And I wish there was. If it, it's like, no, they should have just dumped it, so be it as well.
Right.
But I do feel like there could have been ways to support that. I'm not going to fly out of a plane anytime soon. Okay. Even if my weight wasn't a hindrance. Okay. Even if my weight wasn't a hindrance, if I feel like I'm going to drop faster than the guy behind me who's skinnier than me, you best believe I'm not going on there. But everyone else, I'll be like, I support you from the ground. I'm here for you. That's okay. Once you know I'm not flying up there, that's all I'm saying. And once we can compromise that, let's do something else after. So be it that all of us are involved in. Great. Let's go. But I'm not dropping and flying down faster than the guy on my back. That's all I got to say. All right.
That's true.
That's all I can.
I swear to God, I'll stay there.
If I'm behind you and I see that, it's not it. It's not it. Can you imagine?
I'm gonna be like, who embarrassed her like that?
Chris, you'll be on the ground going, she going a little fast. Oh, I'm probably like, she come down a little. Why is she not open? She comes down quite a fast now. Is that okay?
And it's just a response that like one of us is gonna scream while you falling down.
Me, I'm screaming out while Kim is just going, nah. Did you see the way she just came out there? Take me back downstairs. Straight up Tom and Jerry.
It's gonna be the
Yeah. I don't care if I side the way mine going up to. You hear that, Wiz? Oh, you did? Did you not hear it?
Did that, yo? Side story.
Oh, wait.
Side story.
oh my God!
I do not like roller coasters. I do not like heights. It is not my thing. Mr. Ferris and his Wheel of Death is ridiculous. Okay, so family vacation. We went to Disney World, right? Went to Space Mountain. Okay, first time on Space Mountain. I'll never forget it. We had a great time, but so it was a family time. My brother was in the front. Mommy was behind my brother.
Yes.
My dad. And
Yes.
me and Crystal pulling up the rear.
Yes.
Me and Chris.
Yeah.
So at Space Mountain, they don't do it anymore. I know this now because we rewrote
it
as adults. They put you in the thing, and they go and they stop you right before the first drop.
Yeah.
My brother is the youngest.
Yeah.
He's in the front.
Yeah.
He saw the drop and tried to get up.
He said no. When I tell you, he said nope. And my mother is trying to keep him down. And I'm just going, what is going on? Because my brother was like, nope. Nope. Get out the ride. Tried to get out the ride. Oh my gosh.
There's a countdown clock. I'll never forget it. So it's going down from like 6. And he's next to the countdown clock and no.
Yeah.
And then she finally gets him to like sit down, don't move. And all I remember is them going and the drop and they disappeared.
It's like you're one at a time.
In darkness. They disappeared one at a time. And I turned to I'm dying. I'll never forget it. When she turned to look at me. Pure horror. Oh my! And then call for God that whole ride. She sure did. That's like, I'm not
laughing so hard, and I had my hands on because I had a hat on, and I'm trying to keep my hat on from flying off, and all I hear the whole ride is,
oh my god.
She coughed out the whole time. I know he came. When we saw the light, that wasn't the lights of the...
saw all of Space Mountain with my eyes open.
That wasn't the lights from the ride. That was God coming down because Kimberly called.
I feel so bad for all those cast members that had to deal with me.
That was so funny.
Calling out for the 2 minutes of this ride.
Yeah, it's not even that long. It's really not. The walk to get to the ride was longer than the actual ride itself. But when Kimberly called for God out, she made it. She made it.
And then when we got off, I said, I could do it again. Stupid.
My parents had a blast, though. They're roller coaster enthusiasts. They had a blast. But no, never. Yeah, no. My brother trying to roll up out that was the
Bro,
icing
and we
on the
were
cake
what?
right there.
I was like maybe 12, 11.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. It was fun.
Oh gosh. So there you go. Goodness.
So let us
Let's
let us
move
know
on.
what you guys think about this. Am I the asshole? I mean, you guys may have a different opinion, right?
Yeah. We would definitely like to know how you feel about this.
Yeah.
If we, and I do know, we might have like a teenager or two that, listens in.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know how you would feel about this. Would you, not just go with the majority of your friends, or would you stick up for your friend who can't do this activity? May it be rock climbing, may it be on a roller coaster, may it be anything else. What would you do in this situation? We would like to know. Comments are below, or you could always message us on our other social media accounts.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Kim. So I guess or Criss Cross, you want to go in?
Let's talk about a little creepy quantum time leap.
Oh my god.
All right. I've been waiting for this one.
Yes. So, okay. So I was recently on TikTok, and I was this like whole story. I shouldn't have watched it before I fell asleep. I don't really get like shook that often, but this one video, this one story really got to me. So there was a girl, she's in high school. She's going on her school trip. She's Australian. So it doesn't snow in Australia. So she has to go down south, of Australia to, the lodge or whatever where it snows to go skiing. So she's in the beginners class, skiing on this mountain. She's 5 seconds behind the rest of the group. Mm-hmm. So she gets to a point, the whole group gets to a point where there's a curve that goes
around.
Yeah, around the little mountain thing.
Okay.
So they go and she's 5 seconds behind.
Okay, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. So they get there, the group goes. She goes the 5 seconds after. But when she goes over the bend, no one's there. So not only is no one there, everything is deserted. Yeah. So now it's not like she, got off track, nothing.
She couldn't have. She was only 5 seconds behind.
Exactly. And then the creepiest thing is now it's starting to get dark and this girl is trying to find her way back to the main area where, her class is.
Right.
So fine. Now there's only a ski lift there. There's no people, no lights, no nothing. And to get back to the main resort, you have to go into a little shuttle.
Yeah.
And, then it takes you to where the resort is.
Okay.
She can't find anything except she sees the snow lift.
Oh.
Or whatever that is.
Right. The ski lift.
Yeah. So she jumps on and she sees, she's looking for civilization, anybody, any lights, just to get in contact with somebody because she can't find her class. She can't find this beginner teacher. She can't find anybody. And not to mention, she's about to freeze to death.
Yeah.
So finally, she's about to give up. This girl is about to give up. And she gets to the end of the ski lift. It drops her off and she's still walking, but then she sees a light and she was like, you know what? Screw it. Let me walk towards it. She walks towards it and it's a train. Yeah. So she's the shuttle back to the resort.
Right.
So she's whatever, she gets on it. She goes back to the resort, and everything, she felt everything was not completely, but slightly off enough for her to realize it.
Okay.
So it doesn't really hit her until she gets home. And when she gets home, like, she's, she explains that she has her things a specific way as anyone else does. And her family is not the kind of family that goes into each other's belongings and rearranges or does anything without you knowing.
Right.
So she goes into her room and things are just slightly out of place in different places that she recalls not putting there.
Right.
And, so she speaks to her sister about it because nobody, like, anyone she tells the story to doesn't really believe her.
Right.
And her sister goes on to explain that she believes in the time period that she was in, she was unalived during that time frame. That when she went around the bend, maybe she went around the bend too fast, or, she, something happened in that timeline where her conscious leaked. And and she's like, I think our parents are mourning you, like we're mourning you in that other timeline. And that light was you jumping to another timeline where you existed and you only got lost.
Yeah.
So, time goes on, but like that whole story shook me to my core just because I'm like, how many times have we almost been unalived and we never noticed the slight offs of our time periods? Because I'm about to mess your brains up too with something else.
All right. So my thing is, so is she permanently now in this timeline? So if she remembers going around this bend to the point of then no one existing, or not being there anymore, is she now back in her original timeline, or is she completely now stuck in this new timeline?
So I'm going to break that question down for you. So here's where quantum physics, or this theory of quantum leaping, becomes a little bit more complex. But I'm going to break it down in a more colorful explanation. So if she was unalived in the previous timeline, essentially her body's still young, so on and so forth. She jumped with the conscious. Yeah, with the conscious. And technically, that version of her is still existing, but she is not in the original body.
Right.
So no, she's not in her original body, and her original body is now non-existent.
Okay.
So it's whatever version of the body she's in now.
Okay. So whatever version of the body she's in now, she's stuck.
Yes.
Essentially.
To a certain extent, yes.
Essentially, she's stuck.
Right. So
unless it should happen again.
Right. So the theory is that every time we have been unalived or think that we're at the brink of the end, we time leap.
We jump.
Right. We jump without realizing it into another time period.
Keeping your memories, keeping everything.
Right. But because all timelines are existing at one time and they're clashing past each other, we don't really notice it until these Mandela effects start happening. We don't really notice it until something that we know happened did not happen here.
Okay.
So
it's like, just saying, and may they rest in forever peace. It's like how Richard Simmons and Dr. Ruth just passed. They just passed. Not too long ago.
Yeah.
And people are saying now that happened years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the Macaulay Culkin saying he had passed years prior.
Mm-hmm.
Macaulay Culkin is in a whole relationship with Brenda Strong.
Song.
Oh, and here's the
And
other
having
thing.
all, kids and everything.
I recall Richard Simmons passing as well, but also Richard Simmons always had a red headband.
The headband.
Yeah.
There's no
That's not
pictures
true.
with him.
Yeah.
Oh.
With a red headband.
Yeah, right. But if you dress up in Halloween as Richard Simmons, you'll always wear the headband.
Right. Because he
But-
used to work out with it.
It's not true.
Oh, you mean it's true? It's just not true here. Because I remember what I grew up with.
So
Remember what I
me and Chris are not from this timeline.
Okay.
Look, I've researched this before. That's why. Yeah, I've seen that, and it's
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, so are we saying that basically we don't die? We just time jump? Because that's what it kind of sounds like.
It sounds like.
Instead of dying, we just are leaping from one timeline to another. It's basically the multiverse right now.
Right. But you have one conscience.
But it's one conscious and different body.
Yes.
Is that what where we're getting at here?
This is everything, everywhere, all at once.
Exactly.
Pretty
Exactly.
much. Wow.
Yeah.
Tapping into your different.
Now, I'm not trying to spoil anything. I'm not going to.
If anyone
But-
hasn't seen that movie yet,
No, not that. I'm talking about what I'm about to say, mention. But it's kind of like the Umbrella Academy a little bit. The only difference with that, and I'm not spoiling anything because Kim still hasn't seen the 4th season, and I know a lot of people haven't, so I'm not going to. Me and Criss Cross happen to watch at the same time.
by the time this airs, I may have.
But I'm going to go from the previous seasons, not the new seasons, but they literally end up jumping from the first season into, because it was a new
timeline.
it was an apocalypse. They ended up in the past.
Right.
And in the past, they ended up changing things. And from that season,
Created a
they
new
ended up
grandpa.
into a completely different timeline where they didn't even exist. And where it's the Sparrow Academy exists. And so now it's like learning where they are and then where they ended up in the 4th season, which I'm not going to say. But all I can say is towards the end of the 3rd season, which we watched, they did end up in a brand new time line where they exist, or potentially existed. So now it's kind of like, if that's the effect we're talking about, because they were
It's true.
not dying.
Died.
Yeah, except for quote unquote Ben, who then we realized didn't die and then died. You know what I'm saying? And then they always refer to the other Ben. It's kind of like that in a sense. Just
Ben.
Right. In a sense. So it's interesting because a lot of what society tells us, or what we are known to grow with, is when you die, there is a potential for afterlife, right? Because we believe there's ghosts, or there's others, other things that tell us that there's the other side. But now there's also a potential to say that, hey, you just might hop into one of your other bodies you don't know about.
And you just forget as time keeps going.
No, because every time you jump, technically
You're
it's
still
just
that age.
It's just a difference. And
Now that would beg the question of full on, like someone who's 106.
well, that's where it gets weird, because eventually it's just your conscience. It would end, but your conscience doesn't die. It becomes reborn.
And this is where the cycle just continues. And this is why we have past lives. And it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps... Right. Blowing it. Interesting.
That's different. So this girl, this woman, right? So she was basically unalived in that previous 5 seconds behind her class, and then just ended up in another timeline, basically. And now she living with us in this timeline. So that's what it's.
I mean, we have all.
I mean,
the thing
I mean,
is,
we've
we've jumped
I mean,
timelines
we
at this
just,
point.
I mean, we just
Yeah.
talked. I mean, she just made a whole TikTok about it, so she's in our timeline. Is that what?
Right.
Okay.
But like we said, people have jumped timelines, and the timelines have merged, and that's a whole nother thing. I know.
Yeah.
Because things are just so
gonna
crazy.
get a little dicey
It's gonna
there.
get dicey in this corner over here.
You think? Do you feel like, and just to kind of like bounce off it, you think like Disney's trying to prepare us for that knowledge with this whole multiverse
Absolutely.
kind of thing? If you think about it,
Absolutely.
I'm not touching strongly on it. I just want to kind of like,
mouse knows all.
you know, and yeah,
Look, let me say something. Walt wanted to just conserve, he wanted to cryo freeze, and that we're talking back in the 1930s.
yeah.
Nobody ever thought of cryo freezing back then.
Okay.
Walt was a man above his time.
Y'all know I've always said this.
I can get into that too.
I've said this. I am down with the mouse. I'm sorry, I am. But I'm just trying to figure out, because of the amount of, with Marvel now and the multiverse, which they've always spoken about previously. It's now just becoming more the movies and the TV shows and stuff.
Right. It's been in the comics for years.
Any like real nerd comic book who reads the comic books,
616,
you'll
Earth
know
1243.
of several different timelines. And so that's been mentioned years, even before the movies and TV shows. But now do you feel like now what you're saying, because it's not something I would have ever thought about. Like, again, I'm born in a society where I was born into believing reincarnation or an afterlife.
Right.
So to think that you'll just have the same consciousness thrown into another body.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, well, that's not expected.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different concept to kind of think about and digest, but it sounds something like what the multiverse is preparing us for.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's been more and more shows
a lot of shows
and movies about it.
A lot of TVs and shows are pulling in multiversal aspects.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. You see how they all been trying to create their own universes? I'm like, what's going on there?
The universe.
All of a sudden, Disney Plus does it. Now everybody want to do it. Now everybody's creating their own universe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not mad at it, but still, it's just kind of like, what's happening?
Yeah, Marvel. Look, Stanley had this idea many a moon ago.
Yeah, and
he kept running with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Porker, So I'm just saying.
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham.
I pass the torch to you, my dear.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think about that.
Is it like the TV show Quantum Leap? I've never watched it.
I never
Richard
watched.
Dean Anderson, but somebody could tell me.
What was the show?
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
They
Have
brought
I
it
watched
back. They brought it back.
Yeah.
It's on Channel 2. I don't know if it got canceled.
It got canceled many a moon ago.
No. Like recently they brought it. Like it was like this year. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because no offense, I'm not being racist or anything, but I thought it was really cool they had an Asian guy. So yeah, I think it was on Channel 4 or Channel 2, but
Quantum
they did
Leap.
bring
That's
it
what it's
back.
I'm not sure I've
don't
seen it.
know
watch
if
it.
they canceled it. But yeah, the original had Richard Dean Anderson. Anderson?
Yeah. Richard Dean Anderson.
Yes. Yeah.
He had long hair.
Was it
Richard Dean?
No, I think you're thinking MacGyver. It was, what's his name?
in the original
No.
Quantum
It
Leap.
was, what's his name? I'm seeing his face and I can't remember his name. You'll bring it up. And he was also, he was on NCIS. It was older.
Yes, you are talking Bacharach.
Yes.
Scott Bacharach.
Yes. So he was in Quantum Leap. That, I'm not sure what that show is about, but you can ask an older generation about that.
Quantum Leap was canceled this year.
Okay. The boomers will know what I'm talking about.
Les boomers.
The boomers. But yeah, you guys let us know what you think about this. I mean, that's pretty interesting.
That's
Again,
really interesting.
very used
I want to see that
to
TikTok.
one way of like thinking about moving on when it's our time, but maybe there's another way to move on when it's that time. Who would
Did
have
I say
thought?
bacula? I think it's bacula.
Okay, so so let us know in the comments. We'll definitely love to hear what you guys have to say. All right. So
Talk to us.
All right. So I had heard this, and I actually had put it to my partner because I wanted to know and gauge their thoughts on this. So now I want to hear and gauge what you guys think about this. And you guys. Let's say your partner is deciding to have a dinner, a barbecue, a gathering at the house, right? Of course, they invite their mother, they invite their family, what they love, invite your family, whatever the case may be. Now, when they come, right, because you're cooking, you're whatever, you didn't realize that what was included in the invitations was their ex. Now their ex has already moved on with their life, and their significant other, but the mother-in-law is very happy to have the ex over, and your partner also has the ex over. Doesn't tell you the ex was coming.
It's their ex.
It's their ex, not your ex. It's your partner's ex.
I'm gonna keep my comment to myself. Keep going.
What? How do you feel about it? And what do you do?
The blatant disrespect.
I have disassociated myself from this conversation.
All right, so let me help you.
First of all, my mother shouldn't be happy to bring none of my exes around. First and foremost. Second of all, my partner. And that's it. I have concluded my commentary.
I'm done.
It's the blatant disrespect for me. It's the blatant disrespect of, first off, just give a girl a heads up. Give me a heads up. Just so when I walk in and I see this person, I can at least put the fake smile on. Let me put these
Especially if y'all don't have kids together.
If let me put the acting skills to work. All right. Second off, it's the blatant disrespect. It's the you're not giving me a heads up, and then you going over and kikiing it up. You better be kikiing it up around my waist.
Because the way I was a laxative in this,
and you know what? And I understand that they've moved on, and you know this, that, and the third, and they're living their best life, and she probably like you. Their mother probably likes you. Cool. Don't make me feel uncomfortable. It's the uncomfortability for me, because now I'm here. I see this other person with their significant other, and you're going giving pounds, and I'm like, it's a blatant disrespect, and now I feel uncomfortable. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
No, I didn't say they brought their other significant other. I just said that they've moved on.
They've moved on.
It's just the ex.
That's even worse that you didn't bring your significant other, because now I think never mind.
All right, so this was a scenario.
Well, you know, before you go on,
go ahead.
Like I could be I'm very civil when it comes to exes. Again, but
it's the disrespect.
It's right. Talk to me about it. And like, you know, cause okay, like there's some exes that they really don't care about you. Like they really, and it's not you, it's the partner that you're with. Like they don't care about you no more, but they still interact with your family, which I get. Right. Okay. But as long as you're respectful to me, that's fine. Again, talk to me. Especially if you don't have kids with them. Yeah. Because why are you still in contact?
Just let me know. Right. Let me know that this person is going to be there. Just open communication is, and we've spoken about this before, it's such a big thing in relationships. Be it friendship, be it partnerships. Doesn't matter. Communication is key. Communication, you lost your communicative skills to let me know that this person was going to be here. Now I look dumb.
Yeah. Not even just that, but like, This is my crib, and if she act buku crazy, now I gotta act buku crazy, and they're gonna be mad at me because I came out of pocket.
I'm gonna walk away. And this is why when you turn to your significant other turns to you and they're like, "Oh, where are you going?" I'm leaving. Why? Because I am in an uncomfortable situation, and before a fight breaks out or somebody says something out of pocket, because it's not just you that put me in an uncomfortable situation, but it's your mother that put me in an uncomfortable situation. Doesn't matter if you've been with them a month, you've been with them a year, you've been with them 10 years, you've been with them 15 years, you've been with them 200 years. The uncomfortability is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially when you feel that your significant other's mother doesn't like you.
Yes. Because you will find me with your biggest credit card at Red Lobster and a shopping spree.
I'll go all out on your card. That's for sure.
Yeah, because don't disrespect me like that.
It's the disrespectful. It's the feeling of, oh my gosh. I don't want to be the person to start nothing, won't be nothing.
Right.
But I gotta go. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
Right.
Like, so I'm gonna exit myself out of this situation. Even if you drove, Uber works, the guy, I'm out.
So so in all of that, like, it was a scenario that was like, I heard about, and basically they came over for like a dinner, and the mother-in-law and his mother and the ex and him came over for dinner, or, she made dinner and she was upset. Rightfully so, the partner. And she, the way they were acting was like everything was good, but she was just like, "What's up?" And she went to her room and she stayed there. And later the partner told her that she was childish and she was disrespectful for the way she,
I feel like this was a movie.
It was a husband and wife. No, it wasn't a movie. It was an actual, like, someone like, writing in about it. And she wanted to know if she was rude and disrespectful. And they were like, "Heck no, you weren't. This wasn't Am I the Asshole?" It was just like a radio. And they were like, "No, you not." They were like, "Your ex and your mother-in-law, there's a reason she's an ex. There's a reason why." Like,
and we're married. So like, when did that happen?
Right. There was nothing said about kids or anything or being cordial for the sake of kids. It's just because that partner, that ex, has already moved on and they're married or whatever. But I don't know in what context where him and her are okay enough for them to bring her over, but not warn your wife that they're coming over, and your mother-in-law and your mother-in-law is happy to see them. Like, it's kind of like,
I feel like I've seen this on the TV show or something.
It's kind of shady.
And the anger that flows within me.
I put this to my partner because I was like, how would you feel if I had like a barbecue or something and I brought my ex over? We're cordial, but like, I don't tell you, and he just shows up.
I would have kicked them out.
So
I would have kicked them out.
That's good for you. What I asked my partner was, how would you feel? And he was like, "Oh, okay. Hey, yo, what's up? You want a plate? I got you." And he's like, I'm gonna bring you over. I'm like, "All right, now you can leave." Damn. He's like, "What are they sticking around for?" They're like, "They got a plate of food. I'm glad they got a plate of food. They can head out." He was just like, it's all good. He's like, "I'm not going to go crazy or anything, but I'm also going to kind of be like, what are you doing here?"
Right.
And then I'll talk to you later. Like, he's like, what's up?
That's good.
If we're in a relationship and if you're trying to build out that friendship, I'm all good with it. He's like, I'm not saying people can't be friends with their exes. That's not what I'm saying. He's like, but, respectfully, give me a heads up, which I agreed with, because for me, it's like, I wouldn't want the same thing like you both are saying. Just give me a heads up. I'm not saying you can't be friends if you guys are in a place in your life where they've moved on, you've moved on, you just want to be peaceful in your life. I'm all about peace. Then let's do that. But I am saying, don't be disrespectful to me. And you brought somebody into my space. You're bringing somebody into my home. You're bringing them into my area. And one thing I'm not going to be uncomfortable is in my
space,
in my area. Be respectful. You know what I'm saying? And let's have a conversation, because you don't know what I've been through for me to be accepting of this person. Even if they've been the past in your life and I'm your present and future, at least let's have a conversation before. Like, hey, look, I met back up with XYZ. They're doing this in their life. I'm in this place in my life. Would you be cool with having a dinner, having a lunch, having a whatever, where I like that place. If you're not comfortable, I understand, but I want to put it to you like, hey, we're in different places in our lives than in the past, because some people may not take that. Some people don't want you chilling with your ex, some people are like, your ex is your ex and, you learned what you learned and you got what you got. Now you're moving on. While other people are like, yo, if y'all are chill, then I'm chill with it.
Yeah, just don't disrespect me.
Yeah.
It's the blatant disrespect for me.
Yeah. So I just wanted to gauge that too. And to our amazing listeners, same thing. Like, how would you feel if your partners brought an ex around and just are you guys, would that be cordial? Would you want this situation?
If they was friends before we met, yes,
right.
I'm gonna be cordial, but don't make me feel
uncomfortable.
I like my peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like my peace. And when you disrupt my peace, and then your mother also includes herself in the disruption of my peace, and neither one of you thought of my feelings, and I become childish because I feel like I was not thought of in the decision making.
Yeah.
Because just because we're married doesn't mean that
mom get involved in that.
Because just because we're married doesn't mean that you get to make the executive decision.
Right.
We're a unit.
Right.
Thus, if I'm throwing this dinner or you want this dinner, why did y'all all appear together?
Right. Yes.
It's not like she came on her own.
No, she didn't. They all did come together. So I don't know how that dynamic.
Yes, because you could never without speaking to me.
Right.
Because what is it?
I'll meet you at the door with your takeaway plate.
That disconnect is really something.
Yeah. So
the communication is needed. Like I said,
100%.
Communication in any relationship is needed and is key.
Yeah.
So it was lost in the sauce. 100% lost in the sauce. Let's go put some paprika back in it. Let's put some adobo. Let's put some garlic powder, something. Yeah. Let's get it back because that ain't right.
It's not right. So yeah, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. How do you feel about it? Do you think that she was wrong for feeling the way she was feeling and stepping out the way she needed to step out for herself? Do you think they were wrong for doing what they did without her consideration or respect? Definitely, please let us know because I would love to hear what you guys have to say on that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are back at it again, back into our recommendations. So for me, I recommend, and I know it's I recommended, their brand before, in a previous episode when it came to their books. So this time I'm recommending it because they have a new line of different kinds. This one is the mini brands. I know it sounds childish, but it's so cute. They now make things and, what they've been making are like little bath bombs and little soaps. I actually was able to try out to make their little soaps and it was like a peach flavored bar soap. It was so cute. I absolutely love the scent. I love the feel of it. Yes, they're small, but they were adorable. Okay. They are adorable. And you can actually use it. So, I know it's a little crazy, but I actually loved how you were able to do this. And I think it would be good for parents with their kids as well as, anything to deal with like schools or if you're a teacher and something, just showing kids about, smells and feels and things like that. I thought it was really genius. So, I'm recommending the mini brands, their soap line. Check it out and try it while it lasts.
So my recommendation today is one of my favorites from Studio Ghibli. It's Howls Moving Castle. It's being re-released into theaters. I believe it is September 23rd until October 3rd. So Get your tickets, go see it. It's about a girl named Sophie who leads a very uneventful life until she meets a wizard named Howl. And the adventure she goes on and finds love. And one of my favorite characters, Calcifer. Now, this movie originally came out in 2005. So this is the 25 year, is it 20 years? 20 years. It's 20-year anniversary. So this is why it's being re-released to the public, and it's going to be so great. It's going to have this whole thing with Studio Ghibli in Japan, but definitely here in the States, I believe it's going to be released from the 26th to the 3rd here in the States. Do not quote me on that, but definitely go out and see Howl's Moving Castle. It's such a heartwarming story. Let me know how you feel about it.
Nice. I'm going to be recommending for all my makeup girlies, goth girlies, and I guess artist girlies, because it could be used for anything really. Murder Makeup.
Oh,
Yeah, I love her products. They're affordable and very, very pigmented. So, well, I'll include the link in the bottom, but she has crime tape for makeup swatches. She does a lot of what are they called? She does a lot of different shades, a lot of neon. She has nudes, metallics, her lip line to die for, because you can also use the liquid eyeliners as liquid lipsticks.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That is very trans. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
And it is vegan and cruelty free.
Nice.
Yes. So we'll have the link for that below.
All right, guys, that is our recommendations for this episode. Thank you guys so much again for listening and watching us. We really appreciate it. Definitely check out all our other links and where you can find us on other sites, as well as check out our Patreon and our YouTube. And we just really thank you for just tuning in. And this has been My Kind of Combo.